Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, aka the Bodfather.
This is Jonas Wikstrand from Enforcer, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bodfather. As always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews. Today it's an honor and a privilege to have Jonas Wikstrand. He's the drummer of Enforcer. Enforcer will release their new album entitled Zenith, April 26th via Nuclear Blast. And they also have released a Spanish version of this album as well. They're co-headlining with Warbringer on their North American tour, kicking off that will be hitting the road for 54 consecutive dates, folks, beginning September 5th in San Diego, California, and wrapping up October 28th in Tempe, Arizona, 2 days before the almighty Halloween. So, Jonas, how's it going, man?
Oh, it's all good. I'm so excited for this album release and to see to see the reactions of the fans, and also take it to the audience live and to give them one hell of a show.
So let's jump right into this. How's it been working with Nuclear Blast so far for you guys?
We've been really satisfied with them. They've been helping us a lot, just knowing where we came from and what we used to do, having we're in an independent metal label in New York that was super small. They were really helpful, but then they ran out of the business, and we were deciding on which label to go with, and Nuclear Blast seemed to give us a really good offer, so we decided to go with them, and they've been super helpful with us. Well, in terms of helping us with getting funding for the albums and tour support, and getting us on with a lot of great people to work with. So yeah, I'm confident that they will keep doing a good job for us.
So I want to ask this, and this is what I saw, and I quote, Zenith is definitely the most ambitious project you ever engaged yourselves in. Is this true? I mean, because this took almost, 2 years to get out and record?
Yeah, the first couple of months after doing the final show or From Beyond, it was just we were just dead tired of doing what we were doing, because we kind of burned ourselves out, and it took a couple of months, 5-6 months, before we could find the inspiration in another album, because we knew for sure that we didn't want to do another album that sounds exactly the same just to get on the road again, and just to please the business side, because we're not going to put out with something that we don't consider being great music. So we had to get back to the sketching board and see what album we wanted to make. And it was just important to us for the album to feel inspired. And inspiration, sometimes you can force it, but sometimes you're not. If you burn out from what you're doing, you're not gonna feel inspired to do anything. So we just had to wait for that. And when we started to realize what kind of album we wanted to make, it started to go really smoothly, and we had songs, ideas of songs, and then we started to putting them all together and piece by piece making this album. And then we locked down our recording dates to the studio, and we worked 10 months on the recording process until we had the final master.
Now, you guys have released a music video for Die for the Devil. Was it hard to choose between the current set of songs on this album, Jonas, that would be the first single, or let alone a video? And what did you guys want that song to say for you guys and for people who have not got to hear your music as of yet when they saw it?
It was important for us to release a song that would be representable, A, and B, something different. We wanted to release a song that was way different than anything we've ever done before, to show the diversity on what the band could be. And I think that was a successful idea because like this response so far has been really great. There's been like the audience has been divided in some ways, that a lot of the people that are into the more faster stuff like might not like that part, but there's still on the album is still a lot of things for that kind of audience too. So they want, no one will get disappointed. But when for choosing a first video and single, we just wanted to do something fresh and representable and still fresh and something new.
Any song standing out more to you than any right now, if possible, on the new album? I know it must change every time you listen to it or you go back to it, and I know this is kind of hard, trying to pick your favorite child or your favorite collectible, but do you have any favorites on here maybe that stand out?
I mean, Regrets is going to be way different than also anything we've ever done, because if you haven't heard the album yet, I don't want to reveal too much what it's going to be like. But I have some personal favorites. But the thing is, like, I had a lot of some personal favorites when we finished the album, and then I went back to listening to it just like a couple of weeks ago, and then my favorites were way different. So it's just like, I think it depends on what mood you're in, and like if you want to hear like a really fast song, that's going to be your favorite that time, and if you want to hear a catchy song, that's going to be your favorite at the time, and it's I think it's all about what mood you're in.
What do you hope everyone takes away from the new album, or message you hope they hear while listening to it, or just of any Enforcer's music in general? What do you hope they get from it, Jonas?
I really hope that they will see the diversity in what we're trying to create, and that this album, I hope that some of the old fans will understand that what kind of progression we're making, and see what we're trying to do to understand the big picture. And I really hope that they will take the time to listen through the album several times to get it to sit in their minds.
And see, kids, there we go. There's the word diverse. I like to hear bands say we want to be diverse on these albums, and that's good.
Yeah.
The artwork was created by Italian artist Vilio Giusto. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. How was working with him on this, man?
I think like even like from the first sketches that he did, he's just like been doing amazing stuff. But the thing, what is really impressive, it's like the whole like cover with the logo, everything is just like one big oil painting, and that's like pure Italian genius art. And I think it takes an Italian to be able to create that thing.
I always like to give a little shout out to the artists, because I don't think they get enough respect on what they do to get in your guys' mind and see what you're seeing and creating what they see. So that's pretty cool.
Agreed.
You guys produced this album. Do you guys like being able to produce your own albums and plus having that control and freedom? Or do you want to work with a producer at some point again, maybe?
Like the overall production we've been in charge of, because we need to like have the quality assurance on the final product. But we have taken like a vocal producer. We brought in Rickard Löfgren, and he produced the Diamonds records, and ever since the Diamonds records, he has been helping us with the vocal productions. So we brought him along on the vocal production to help, because I think he's working with Olaf, and the vocal takes really good, and he's also such a nice and great guy to work with, and he understands what we're trying to do, and also understand like the progression that we want to make with the band and what we were trying to like accomplish. So he's always been great. But then the general production of like the final product we've been in charge of, because we like quality assurance. I think it would be easier to answer this after like playing the songs live and like trying to figure out what we want to go next. We've been talking about like outsourcing the productions to other people, at least for like in the demo stage, to see what we can make to take like the concept even further, and to see what progression we can make from this album.
So him working on the vocals and everything, did you see like a difference in the vocal range on this or anything? Did you see him bring anything out differently that you were shocked or surprised that was there?
I think what we've seen differently is just like the improvement of Olaf's voice, and that he's been on the road, he's been singing so much, he's been practicing, and like for every album that we're making, he's making a lot of progression on how to sing and how to like hit notes and developing his vocal range. Like in the first albums, he just like had a couple of notes that sounded good in a really high range, so that was like really limiting to write melodies from that. But now he's like developing his low range, his high range, and that helps us to create like more dynamic songs.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that Olaf's voice sounds more stronger, if that's the correct word to say on this. He sounds like he's more confident in his vocals.
Yeah, he's getting way more confident and that's has a lot to do with practice, because when we started, like, he was even saying, like, after the first album, that he didn't want to be the singer and wanted someone else to sing on the album because he wasn't confident in singing himself. But then he's always been a great frontman, and that has helped him a lot. And then he has improved his vocals a lot after that too. So I think that's that has helped us. And I think like the better he can sing, and the better songs we can write, because then we like have more freedom to choose the dynamic, to use the dynamic range in the vocals.
So Jonathan Nordwall debuts on this album. What did he bring to this band that may have been missing possibly?
He's been like a refreshment to the band, because he's been like coming out with like a youth enthusiasm. Like it's easy to, when you've been touring and playing for years, that you like get into a rut and what you're doing, and like all of the shows start to feel the same, and you start to like forget about where you come from and where you're heading. And he has like contributed with like an enthusiasm that has been transmitted into all of the other guys, and we start to feel like we're really like a young band in this again. So that's been really helpful.
How much growth musically have you seen this band and yourself go through up to the release of this album? Or has it just been more of a personal growth for each of you guys involved with this?
I would say both. I would say that it's been like a personal musical growth, but also as a band trying to expand our views on what the band can be. And like, I think it starts and ends with inspiration. Like, we have inspiration to make new great music, and like, if you have inspiration, you had the motivation to practice. You had the motivation to sit down and work and work and work and work and work, and that's how you make improvement.
Do you like to do anything differently during that writing and recording process to help keep your mind fresh and open, to not get stale, to not let the music get boring or the music get stale? I mean, I know it's two different things, but what do you like to do, if anything, differently?
Right, for now, I don't have any good answer on that, because I feel confident in the album that we made, and I want to show it to the audience. But like I mean, I always have like improvements that I want to change and stuff like that. And I think like for now, like for the next album, I have the same thought that I had after like we were starting with the music after From Beyond, that I want to do something different, because I don't want to like ever repeat myself musically, because that's just like, that's boring the heck out of me. So I just want to keep improving and keep making new interesting music. And like the time where I like keep like repeating myself, doing the same riffs all over again, that's the time where I'd rather just stop than doing another album. So
what can fans expect at a show from Enforcer who have not got to see you guys live as of yet, Jonas? What are they going to get when they come and see you?
They're going to get pure energy, and they're going to get like an entertaining band that is giving everything for the audience every night.
Now, we're living in the digital era of recording albums to get music out quicker, and now we've got social media to reach out to more people who have not got to hear of Enforcer as of yet. Do you like this that we're living in now? I mean, I know everything changes, but do you guys like this?
I can't be like thinking back about the old times thinking that was much better than what it is now. It is what it is now, and you have to adapt to it. I think it's easy to get super grumpy about stuff if you start thinking about how it used to be, and that would be better than nowadays. I think it's just like see the new possibilities and the new eras and try to make the best of it, because like the 70s, 80s, and like the record sales that they had those days is never gonna come back. Like the scene is different, like the music is different and it's way more like the music is much more available to everyone and is accessible for everyone all the time. So that's never gonna change.
I kind of see both sides of it, but I kind of I think it's a lot better for musicians right now because where you've got social media, you can reach out to more folks, and YouTube, things like that, to get stuff out. And
Yeah.
I think that broadens the horizons, if you ask me. But I mean, there's negative parts to it, but I still think it helps.
I think it's easier to find an audience, and it takes a lot of power away from like the big music corporations, which I think is great, because then it's not the corporations that decide what music is going out to the people. But it still has like the power is in different hands, because now it's like the streaming service that choose what music they promote, and like the negative side is also that like the streaming royalties are way less than like the royalties from selling physical records, obviously. So I mean, that's something that a lot of like composers and musicians are grumpy about, but I think it's just to face it and try to create new like opportunities. And if it's business opportunities for these people, then may like just adapt to it. And if it's like a possibility to reach a new audience, then use it. So I wouldn't say it's either good or bad. I would just say that it's different, and that's what we have to play with, and just like keep going.
In your own opinion, man, what does Enforcer bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now, if anything?
I think that like how to phrase this, we're bringing music to an audience. There's still like a lot of like elements that has been happening in the past that we're like bringing back, but there's also something new. But we're giving it with like a youthful, energetic enthusiasm that like none of the older bands have these days, and we're trying to give the fans of today something that could give them like positive vibes, and they can go to concert venue and they will be completely satisfied that they've seen a good metal concert.
So the $1 million question, Jonas, what made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you, my man? Said, yeah, that's what I want to do.
I don't think I chose music. I think music chose me. It was just something that came to me, and it stuck forever. I was trying to pursue all these different interests and sports and stuff like that, but music was the thing that stuck with me. And I still have a lot of interest in all these other things. It's just like that's what I keep coming back to, and that's what like I always have my mind on music and making new music and whatnot. So that would be the simple answer.
I want to go back to the making of the album right quick, and I'm sorry I forgot to ask this, but where it took so long to make it, do you like albums that draw out that long to make? Do you think they're made better versus like say something that takes like 6 months? I mean, I've seen stuff happen like that, but do you feel like working on an album for lengthy long time makes it better, if that makes sense?
Well, it makes it better for us, because like if we would done this album in 6 months and then release it, we wouldn't have like it wouldn't have been well thought through. We haven't been able to like nail the structures of the songs properly. We haven't like nailed the mix properly and everything. Like it would just be something. I think when we did Diamonds, I think that's an album that the songs have so much potential, but I think we rushed the whole recording process. And even if like a lot of people like it, I think that album could be like so much better if we just taken a little bit more time to structure the recording and make it sound better. So I think, but also a lot of people like when it feels unpolished, and I understand that too. It's just like I can see both sides of it. But yeah, I definitely think that if you're going to put out a record, you want to put out something that you're proud of and something that you worked on for a long time. Like I don't think Michelangelo, the painter, just like did some SketchUps and then send it away to the king for approval. Like he was working and did everything he could in every sculpture and painting that he ever did. And I think that's important to do if you're an artist.
Is there a country that stands out or even shocks you that Enforcer's music gets played in, or you guys even get support from?
I think a lot of like remote areas in the Brazilian jungle or Latin America or Thailand or all these places that we've been to, it's really surprising to see that there's a follow-up and a metal scene. And I think that the kind of music is like uniting the whole world, in the sense of that the people are very similar everywhere, and they can be from different cultures, they can be like different ethnicities or religions or whatnot. They're still like being joined into the joy for this kind of music, and they're having the same kind of t-shirts and pants and jackets and like long hair. It's like a culture that is binding like all our cultural differences together.
How excited are you guys to kick off this co-headlining tour with Warbringer in September, man?
It's very exciting. I'm excited to bring this new album to the crowd.
Folks, you want to get out and pick up Enforcer's new album entitled Zenith, April the 26th via Nuclear Blast. Also, you want to get out and check out the co-headlining tour with Warbringer that kicks off September 5th, that leads into October 28th, and that finishes up with our North American leg of the tour. So you want to get out and check them out. So, Jonas, how can folks stay in touch with you guys? Buy this new album, get some tickets for this tour coming up, merchandise. How can you do that, my man?
Oh, they stay following us on social media, and they will see all the updates that we have, and we will come with closer details on all specific shows and all the updates that will ever be. Just stay in touch on social media.
Before I let you go, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Sure. This is Jonas Wikstrand from Enforcer, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link plus our YouTube link, and also soon a Twitch link. Also get out and check out Enforcer. Pick up their new album that comes out April 26th via Nuclear Blast entitled Zenith. Get out and check that out. Plus the co-headlining tour with Warbringer starts out September 5th. Jonas, thank you guys so much, and have the best of luck, man.
Thank you. You have a good night.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.